All right, well, here it is. I told you guys that weekly Witt 4 that we'd have a little bit of an extra thing. We took a few takes of it. Sean and I spent like an hour making this huge video, and it just really made us seem jerky, we found out. So we're just gonna really just give you the quick synopsis of it, and that's it. All right, so we went to Disneyland. We waited in line at the Alice in Wonderland ride, and we saw this girl. And John,
Like, he looked over, he's like, hey, look at that girl up there. She looks really pretty. And I was like, really? It's like, she had her back turned, so we kind of waited, kind of looked for a minute, couldn't really tell. Then she kind of turned around, like, you could see from the side, and from the side she looked really pretty. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I'm like, yeah, Zach, she does look pretty from the side. And he's like, yeah. So then I finally got to look at her from the front, and she was like, man, not all that, like, pretty. She's pretty, but not, like, super pretty. So I look over at Zach, and I'm like, you know, she's not that pretty. And he's like, oh, really? So he kind of gets her look at her from the front, and he's like, oh, she's still pretty. She's like an 8.
Yeah.
I'm like,
8.
I don't really think she's an 8. I think she's a 6. He's like, a 6? And he said it all loud, so, like, everybody heard.
People know I'm loud.
Like, and so like, the girls were with her, and one of them was like, you guys shouldn't judge people like that. It's kind of mean. So like, no, we're saying that she's pretty. We're just commenting on how pretty she is. It's not like we're judging her personality. It's not like we're saying that, you know, she's ugly. We're just, you know, giving her kind of our idea of how pretty she looks. So,
yeah.
so we're sitting there, and as we're saying that, this old woman in front of us, not old, I guess, she's like 45.
45.
She turns around, and she's like, you know, you guys should just stop trying to explain yourself. You're really just digging yourself a deeper hole. There's nothing honorable about what you're doing. So anyway, so she's like, you know, whatever, whatever, we don't even care. We're just, whatever, it's just not a big deal, right? So whatever, she can think whatever she wants.
I just thought she was pissed at us, and I didn't, you know, I told Sean she's pissed at us, and whatever. She has a right to be, I guess. She's a woman, and hey, you know, they're going to get pissed when we grade. And I've noticed women get pissed when guys grade things, when guys grade women. And that's what gave me the idea to do this video, so you guys would understand. For a quick look into it, 5 is the average for guys. I'm gonna explain the scale here. So 5 is the average. 10, you know, almost never happens, and a 1 almost never happens. You know, I hear from women that they think 5 is 50%. And it's not true, because we're not going by the school grading scale. We're going by the male grading scale, which we created to be simple. So if I ask Sean, he tells me his number, I get my number, and that's the end of the conversation. We really don't need to hear any more than that, except our own opinions. So we can go about knowing that's what other people think of her. But that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, if I say you're like a 7, that means you're 2 steps above average, right? So it means you're really pretty. Yeah.
Can't be mad about a 7. It's pretty.
So, to continue the story, Sean and I wait in line. You know, we're still talking about amongst ourselves. We don't want to be too loud as we were last time, and we're just basically talking. The girls are talking about their own thing, and you know, speaking of the girls, we looked over and we saw, you know,
the woman's like talking to the girls were like, whatever, maybe she's just having a conversation with somebody else.
Yeah.
So we get on the ride, and it's like, well, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So we're sitting back, and we're like, what are you guys talking about? She's like, oh, well, the lady was talking to us. I'm like, really? What'd you say? She's like, oh, well, she asked us if we were dating you guys.
Oh.
I'm like, no, we're just friends. And then she said, you know, you should really never date guys like that. Really?
So this
you shouldn't date guys who judge people.
The woman said, you shouldn't date guys like that, like us, because we set a number to the guy, about a woman.
About her outward
appearances. And we get judged on a bigger scale
our personality.
Of our personality.
By one thing we say.
And that would have to be every guy then, because every guy does it. Every single guy I've known has done this. Everyone. That's why I asked Sean. Sean and I don't normally, you know, talk about how pretty girls are. We usually talk about our own thing. But I assumed Sean knew the scale, and he did. As I assume every guy knows the scale. But, you know, I guess that's what got us really mad. You know, I put some comments on, giving your 2 cents about it. Let us know if this cleared up for you about why guys do this. It's just to be simple. It's just to, you know.
It's not to insult anyone.
It's not to insult. It's to be simple. It's so, you know, it's a guy thing. It's not supposed to be heard by women. It's supposed to, because we're not going to ask a girl these questions. We're going to ask guys. But, you know, that's it, I guess, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Go get some Mexican food.
All right. We're going to go eat. Stay tuned next week for Weekly Wit episode 5. One hand. So there you go.
Peace.
Peace. That was stupid. Whatever. I'm keeping it in. I'm not even editing it out. I'm keeping that in.